Superintendent. Matt?
Arlene Elves, Christine DeMond, Ellen Farrell, Monica Kelly, Kelly Kimberly, Corey Buswell, Michelle Malloy, Carolyn Gordon, Julia Rogowski, Kara Logan, Jillian Capone, Kathy Tanacost, Laura Hastad, Daniel Troy, Marissa Van Growski, Jennifer Crawford, Joanna Rosen, Kimberly Moore.
I know. These forgiving art teachers, every graduation, I'm just doing stuff. Let some kids graduate fast. These people are serving the year
then you probably recognize Superintendent Isaga's signature speech kickoff. Although it's somewhat predictable year after year, it's a very nice moment for the soon-to-be graduating students to reach back and to reflect on where they came from. And it also highlights some of the most poignant characteristics of Ralph's tenure as superintendent of schools here at Trumbull. Coming from the classroom himself, he always understood that teachers are the single most important element in the ever-growing bureaucracy that has become public education. He took the time to forge those personal relationships, knowing teachers by name and making decisions based on individual needs rather than adhering to some external ideal of what is appropriate. And because of his ability to see the big picture, he would involve himself in shepherding his staff around pitfalls that teachers might not even be aware of. Teachers knew that they could bring their problems directly to him if they needed help. Each year during the inevitable debate over the budget, Ralph would focus his attention on making sure that his schools and his students would not be affected by the cuts to teacher staffing, which are taking place in other communities. He knew that keeping class sizes small and manageable is the first step to a high-achieving district. Another thing that's highlighted by his traditional graduation speech opening is stability. In a time of educational upheaval and uncertainty, what we call reform, Ralph holds the rudder steady. He focused on keeping initiatives down to one thing, 3 questions which would guide good teaching. What is it that we want our children to learn? How are they going to learn it? What do we do if they didn't learn it? It's a sharp contrast from the constant push forward to meet the needs of standardized testing. Maintaining stability and tradition has been challenging during Ralph's tenure. When he started as superintendent, there were no smartphones. The internet was still coming into its own. No Child Left Behind was still a miracle in Houston. And in the years which have passed, he has had to help Trumbull schools embrace NCLBT, RTTT, CCSS, RTI, SRBI, SBAC, BYOD, CONCAN, ONG, and AFB, just to name a few of the acronyms. Someone who doesn't like controversy or unpleasantness, it's been difficult to balance the interests of these various entities. But regardless of the challenges, he has always found a way to motivate people to do the best job possible. However, as in all close families, the TEA and Superintendent Isaga have occasionally had some difference of opinion on how best to proceed. But Ralph always kept a close eye on what was going on. And he would offer his help and advice when what was happening in schools would spill over into the affairs of the public at large. He was always concerned with Trumbull School's reputation and wanted to be sure that we always looked as good as he knew that we were. So recently the TEA had the opportunity to celebrate Ralph in the press, and here's an excerpt from the letter that was sent to the Connecticut Post. We in Trumbull have been fortunate to have a superintendent who is a lifelong educator, who began in the classroom and who has built a career in the Trumbull public school systems. We have seen the value of a superintendent whose perspective of public education has been informed by his personal experiences in the classroom and the administrator's office. It is this perspective which informed his decisions as he shepherded Trumbull public schools through some of the most challenging transition times in public education. And regardless of which new educational fad came down the pike, our superintendent always viewed changes through one lens: what was going to be the best for the students of Trumbull. And as a result, his highest priorities year after year were keeping class sizes small and empowering teachers to drive innovation. Two trends in education which had decades of proven success and which have never gone out of style. And it's for reasons like this that Ralph was recently selected as Superintendent of the Year. And that's one award that we won't be sending back. So as in the Trumbull Public Schools, the home is Golf's name, we at the TA would like to say thank you for all that you've done for teachers and students, and we hope that we have made you proud.